Alright everyone, how you doing today? This hot, very hot day. We have ourselves a trimmer. And this looks like it's a Homelite trimmer. So it's the SX-135. It is a curved shaft trimmer. And it's shorter, so it's good for if you're a shorter person. It just helps a lot. And this trimmer is engine turns over. It's a little sticky feeling, and the carburetor on this is a Homelite. I'm sorry, this looks like a Zama carburetor. You almost spot them nowadays. At least it looks like it. Could be wrong. I don't see a primer bulb on this, so that's interesting. I could be wrong. I don't know if it's a Zama. No, it's a Walbro. Oh wow, it's totally different. Sorry, Walbro carburetor. And we have two fuel lines here. I bet you that's the one that has the filter on it, because it comes into the top of the carburetor. And that's got to be the return, I think. Yeah, we have a bunch of T something, probably T20s. Fuel tank here. These lines are super brittle. Oh my god, I think I can break them just by like squeezing them. Gas tank here. I don't know much about this, so I'm gonna do some research, see what kind of fuel mixture this takes, and before we do that, I put you in a tripod and see if it has spark. Let's see if we can get the spark plug out of here and check for spark. This is a 3/4 socket. I might need that. Yeah. Oh, I see. Interesting. Spark plug's a little on the wet side. Let's see what we get for spark. So I'm thinking sooner or later I'm going to get a spark plug tool. Yeah. Oh, that's a lot of spark. Get your better angle so you can see that. That's pretty ridiculous. Alright. Hopefully I can see that. We're on a dark side of the moon. Darker side of the moon. See that? That's got more spark than I can ever imagine. One more time. Yeah, this engine is really amazing on this thing. I don't know what this Homelite brand is categorized as. I don't know much about it, but I can tell you that this is a better manufactured Homelite hardware than other trimmers I've worked with. So I'm going to get some specs on this and I'll come back and we'll have at it. This uses a 50-to-1 mix to run, and we're going to drop a little bit of fuel into the spark plug chamber and give it a start and see if the engine wants to run. Alright, so that sounds really good. I think this is an easier repair because I don't see the usual leakage that I see happens all the time on the carburetors. I think we might have just to maybe just instead of ethical reasons, probably just clean the carburetor itself, get a rebuild kit for that, and redo the fuel lines. And I think that's it. That's all that we need to do. Maybe the fuel filter too. We'll definitely need some string in the actual head. But other than that, this is a simple repair. This is actually in really good condition. All right. I'm not going to go too deep into this project. I feel that this is in a really good condition. I have a few questions and some observations initially that I'm sure you'll be able to see also. So this is this muffler part of it is kind of dirty and oily. So I think I might need a gasket for that side. I don't think I'm going to mess with the short block cylinder head. I'm not going to pull it apart and clean it. At least I say that for now. Watch me like totally not just go and pull it apart like I usually do. This is a choke in a run position. I'm not sure if there's a switch that's supposed to be here. I do not see it. General like looseness of stuff needs to be tightened up down here. Also is kind of loose. All this needs to be tightened up. You can see right here when you pull the trigger, the throttle. That's how that works. I got a kill switch here. Push to stop. That kind of grounds out to the body right there. Kill switch wire right here. Again, grounds out to the body right there. That's the kill switch wire here. Again, I don't see any. I don't think this uses a primer bulb. These lines need to go. They're a little on the brittle side. I have a feeling this will just actually work right now as it is if I just put fuel in there. Unless there's a fuel delivery issues that I don't know about. Okay, so I think, right, I don't need to test it because I don't really care because I know I'm going to replace these lines. I'm going to go ahead and pull it apart, clean this muffler system. I don't know, so I should really test that carb. I don't know, let me see what kind of carb that is. Pull it apart and see what kind of carb it is. See if I should rebuild it or not. I might need to, but I kind of like to do these things. Alright, so we get some stuff off of here. I noticed that the air filter case is already broken right here. So I lift it off. Right there I can see it's cracked. And yeah. So what's happening here? Slide this off, looks like here. You gotta be gentle. I'm gentle with everything. You don't want to break anything else. Alright, let's go ahead and pull these off. These are T25s. Yeah. Camera's a little closer. On my back. So we'll leave this up a little. Pull it off. Again, it's T25. Looks like that. I feel certain this should have. I feel certain that should probably have a fuel filter on there. I don't know about this. This feels a little fishy. I bet you because it has no fuel filter. Previous owner ran it, and I bet you that is all sorts of contaminated. Okay, fuel tank. These two dimples here go that way. You can see them. They sit on those things right there. Okay. We gotta get the shroud off the front here. Let me just see what we can do with getting this air filter, or at least a better angle at it. Yeah. How about you turn the other way? the other side. Yeah, there's only 50-50 chance you get it right here, buddy. Alright. Even though it's kind of like God's flashlight in here. Oh, I see the choke. I get you now. I get it. I do enjoy how bright it is. It's really good for you to see what's going on. Fuel filter here is giving me a little bit of a hard time. Not really sure what it needs to come out. Let's see. Let's push up on it. It's a plastic tab. Oh, there you go. Alright, so it looks like that. Let's see what's happening. See that little groove? See the little groove here? That's a better angle. I have to push that down to get it past that. Okay. Fuel filter. I can totally wash that, reuse that. This choke doesn't choke much of anything anymore. It's like it needs to get itself an upgrade or something. It's chokeless. Yeah, I'll show you what I mean. I was looking for the choke, this right here, because it says here, choke, run, and I couldn't find it. But you see, I turn it, and it does nothing. It should actually turn that butterfly. That butterfly should move with this. When you choke it out, you increase the air pressure in the venturi, and that allows you to, it allows the ignition process to have like a smaller particulates. I would say not particulates, but like more vaporized fuel mixture, so that way it can burn easier, it can combust easier. And this does nothing, so that right there is it just came right off. That should turn that. Now this is where it gets interesting. Choke handle looks like it sits around these grooves. Okay, so I'm squeezing it. You can see it's like moving it a little bit. It's definitely cracked. A little bit of a flimsy design. Wonder why they went that route. I don't know. What do you think? Probably can get a new one. We'll see. See how I want to solve it. I guess that's that. Pull these two bolts off. What do you think those are? And I bet you I'm not prepared. I bet you I don't have them. Alright, I'll be right back. So those are 3/8, those two bolts in there. And hey. That was kind of knew that was going to happen. Kind of. Certainly. I can almost feel it. so that was, so yeah, I'm going to just get a little closer shot and see if you can see it. Just so you know what we're dealing with here. That was in that position right there. Holy, make sure it's something we all both can see in archive. Alright, so that linkage, that throttle link, is attached to that, say, middle position. Ah, come on, I hate bad videography. Here we go. Throttle positions, third one in, okay? I definitely couldn't see it. There is the primer bulb. Okay, so we're gonna need a whole rebuild kit for this. This is a choke. I'm gonna show you something. See how that works. That's supposed to turn that. Okay, so that kind of broke off of this. This is this has some grooves, so it obviously grabs onto it and, you know, turns. I don't know what we can do to save it. Either we just try to glue it back onto it directly, or we'll actually squeeze it down, fix the glue. It's, you know, I don't know. But anyway, here we go. This is the carb. We have oh yeah, look at some parts diagram of this thing, see what's going on. Gaskets here. All this stuff will be a part of a carb kit. Alright. We have 4 T25 screws holding this, I guess it's just the case. And you get those unscrewed, and so we can pull. Nope, that looks so small. I think it's a little bigger. Nope. I think that I'm right. Yeah, I'm right. This one. I'll do the bottom ones because the top one's gonna. We have 4 of them, like that. Holy two-stroke. These things are so cute. That's right, I said it, they're cute. We're gonna keep that right there. I don't know why I moved it. Okay. I'll bring your. When things are unveiled, you really get a good idea as to like what's going on with them, you know. So let's see what we have. So we know right here. Okay, so first off, I'm not really sure why this is so. I don't know. It's greasy, but it's a weird kind of like grease, like it's kind of old and should have been redone. I don't know. But anyway, we're leaving all this intact. We're not pulling all that off, right? That right here, this gasket, I think it's shot. This is super oily, so that concerns me. I think that we need to pull that off, get that gasket. We need to get this gasket. We need to figure out, yeah. Oops. see if we can. I don't know if I have if I can get a gasket for this. I'll also do that. So basically, we're just doing all these gaskets. Go 1, 2, 3. We need a carb rebuild kit. See if that kit gives me. That kit will most likely give me a gasket here. I don't know if this. What we're gonna do to try to save this choke, because you do need to be able to turn that. So it doesn't seem to be grabbing much of anything. Oh, it does work if you push down really hard. So what I'll try to do is, okay, that does work. You know, we'll pull it off. I'm gonna like give it a nice bit of glue in. I'm sorry. Try to fix the plastic before it cracks anymore. And yeah, so typical rebuild kit, new fuel lines, and take that off. Yeah, what do you think? Let's take that off right now while we're at it, since we're at it. Back you off a little. Alright, so of course I don't have that socket out, so never mind. So this is 5/16? Yeah, 5/16. Oh, go get your glasses. Alright, so what I've noticed about the manufacturer, when you go to try to buy this part online, it tends to not be available for these older ones. So you have to look at the newer, I forgot, I think this is a 25cc, I think, short block engines, and look for that part on a newer trimmer, Homelite trimmer, or the manufacturer of this block. I don't really know if it's MTD or not, but either way, that will still work. They haven't changed this much at all. So that's one way to get that. Or you can just look for eBay and just find if you get the part number from that, from the diagram. Yeah, like I said, no need to mess with this stuff. Leaving that as it is. It's great. It's fine. That gives me a lot of spark. Really, my flashlight's not working, but I'm going to look inside of the cylinder head, see what's going on. Oh yeah, it's pretty clean. That's amazing. Alright, I'm going to look from the side here with you. Let's see, check and see what kind of, so you can see inside of there. Alright, we're looking for any scoring. No pistons. This is a 1-ring piston. It's pretty clean. Alright, so this engine, this 2-stroke engine, is in really good condition. I think it's going to be an easy one. I think just the gaskets and figuring out what to do with that choke would be nice. So, wow, yeah. Definitely going to go in the ultrasonic cleaner. Yeah. Yeah, let's have at it, shall we? Well, I'm going to throw those things in the ultrasonic cleaner, and those screws also. I'll hand wash that filter, and see you in a couple days. We need to figure out what is the model number of this carburetor, and it looks like when I look here, I don't know if you can see it, but it says E3. You see that? Oh, it's a little blurry. Yeah, come up, so better. Come on. Yeah, this is E3, and the number next to it is on the left side here is 220. So E3 220. I think that might be enough information to figure out what carburetor this is. I don't see any other marks of identification on this. We know it's a Walbro. I'm sorry, Walbro carburetor. Ever since I started mixing my journeyman activities with this mechanical stuff, this table has gone to hell. I've had this piece of plywood for years. And it's been so clean and nice. Now it's just dark and grimy. Maybe I'll just flip it over at some point. Anyway, we need to pull this carburetor apart so we can put it in the ultrasonic cleaner. So that is that. You know, one of the things, one of the reasons why I need to like get these trimmers done, probably doing like another trimmer video after this, it's because the season's coming to we're mid-season, and that means I won't be able to like get rid of these trimmers. I have about 5 of them, so I have no grass to cut. So it seems as if it would be important to make sure I get these things out of here before winter comes. You know? So that's what I'm going to be doing for the next couple of videos. What I really want to do, you know, I've been spotting this Honda Nighthawk. It's been sitting. It's in neglect. It's been outside for a long time. Not moved at all. And I want to try to buy that thing and fix it from scratch. You know, have it as my daily rider. Well, not daily rider. A vehicle I can use as an alternative to my car. How about that? Is that more accurate? Like accuracy? I do too. I want to have that, and to do that means that I need to get my skill set for repairing these smaller motor things up to a standard that like allows me to like a skill level that allows me to do this quite easily. So that's what I have been doing with you since like December of 2018, and you know we've fixed a lot of stuff so far together. It's been fun. You know, I hope that you've enjoyed the learning process as much as I am. I'm not super challenged anymore by these smaller 2-stroke engines. What they are. A whole lot of fun to work on. Okay. So I got 4 of those. That's on. I have a parts tray right here if you're wondering what's going on. Okay. That's the top of that. I can line that off. Yeah. Few line off. This is very plasticky, so that's not going to go anywhere close to the ultrasonic cleaner. And don't break. That one came off easily, and that one doesn't want to. How typical. You know, I wonder if it's supposed to have some plastic on there. Let's just slide right on. Yeah, I guess so. Alright, cool. I want to get this off, but I don't want to break anything, so I'm going to have to think about that. Let's see if we can get this butterfly off. Sorry, if you didn't see, it looks like that. And the other 4 that I took off look like this. Let's get this butterfly out of there. See how that is? That looks... Alright, it's got numbers on it, 1, 3, 2. So that might help with the orientation when we put it back together. I wonder if this can just twist off. There's a lot of plastic everywhere. Let's take this top part off. That's the top part of the carburetor, the diaphragm here. So that. This is keyed, so you don't have to worry about how you put it back, because those 2 spots will help you know where to line it up. I have a weird feeling I might need a whole diagram. I mean a whole carburetor. Just because. Okay. So again, let's take a look. This was against the metal, and then this plastic was, we can do this, it was on top of it like that. Okay? This against the metal, this on top of it. Alright. Let's move that. Oh, that's so brittle. This thing is like super hard. Anyway. Alright, this is good. This can be cleaned in an ultrasonic cleaner. This is all metal. This bit lift up? Yeah, it sure does. Yep, lifts right up. Okay, so that lifts up. This we cannot put in the ultrasonic cleaner because it is plastic. So we're going to keep that to the side. Get that plasticky stuff off of there. This is where the old primer bulb used to be. Alright. So this can be tossed in the ultrasonic cleaner. Now, I can pull this out, or not, just leave it in there. It spins a lot, okay. Alright. This diaphragm off. So that, like that, sits inside of there. Okay, so that's useless. We have This looks like a Zama carburetor, to be honest. So this spring here, let's see, get zoom down some more on the action. Okay, so this has a spring right underneath that. You need to be careful for it. I'm sorry, right here. It just flies right off, right? So when you do that, it's like the worst experience ever. It becomes the world's most expensive spring to replace if you can't find it. So I'm gonna put my finger down, take that off, right? Alright. We have, sometimes the kit comes with these things, all the little pieces, but I don't really know about the spring part. That one's, I'm not sure if you get that with the okay. So that's that. It's very little. Okay. And then we have this parts trail. Move it over a little bit. Let's get these little parts out. Okay, so that's the spring. That spring holds the pushes against this arm, which holds this part that attaches itself to the seat. I'm sorry, the needle. So this is the seat right here. I'll put that there. And here's the needle. Now, to look for failure in this, you want to look for the tip of it and see how compromised it is. So this tip looks great. It's super sharp still. No issues there. Okay, but let's take a look at what's really happening. This carburetor is going to be clogged because you see this stuff is old gas. It's been sitting in there. You know, fuel and oil, gas, fuel and oil mixture. And it starts to turn into this yellowish, like super thick viscosity. It just clogs all the holes in this carburetor. Now we need to get that clean. I don't really know if I can pull that off. You know, this part here, because that's plastic. Because in my mind, right, when you do this, you don't want to have any parts of it that's plastic in the fluid. Oh look, we have another butterfly over here. These needs to be removed. In the ultrasonic cleaner, you don't want to have any plasticky parts in it because it causes damage to them. And any rubber, the gaskets will also expand. Just put that there. This butterfly is for the most part just a flat circle. Maybe I can turn it. Oh, there you go. That's a smarter way to do it. So that's that. Nothing too specific about it. It has some wear marks, so you'll know what to do. This side has, you know, it's flat, so that side's going to be the part that goes faces into the onto this flat metal part here with a choke. This is spring loaded, so that's going to be fun to try to figure that out. I don't know. Don't remember remember exactly what goes there, but anyway, it's spring loaded. It goes in. We need to pull it off. No, I don't want to pull it off. I'm going to leave it just as it is, because I remember the Zama carburetor was a pain in the butt. So I could get it off by just sliding that off back here, that clip, but I don't need to. This doesn't put it in the ultrasonic cleaner, it'll be fine. Alright, I see nothing but bare metal as a Welsh plug there. I think that's a Welsh plug. I'm not really sure. Okay. Alright, so let's work on this without breaking it. Looks like it wants to come off, but I'm not really sure. Maybe a little heat. Yeah, maybe I can just heat it up a little bit. I'm using this in a low setting at the highest temperature. Oh yeah, it's feeling it alright. Oh, it's like super soft. It's very ta-da! Worked like a charm. I'm not going to try to fight and pull this off, but then it's going to lead me into like lots of frustration and failure. So let's leave that at that. I know that now, since I've taken this off, printed on this carburetor is like M24. Can you see it? Yeah. Look closely right here. This is M24. So I'm going to use all those things to try to help identify this carburetor and see what we can do with it. It also has right here has D55 printed on it. So yeah, right here, D55. Come on, focus. Focus. Alright, so that's a D55. Right there. Okay, so we have D55, M24. We also have 220E3 also on the back here. So we're going to use all those numbers and see which one pulls up the carburetor kit for this. And I'm going to suspend this like that, maybe like this in the ultrasonic cleaner. I'm not sure, or like that. I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out together. Okay, cool. Right, we got a couple things we're going to throw into the ultrasonic cleaner. Yeah, obviously that. Anything metal, how about that? That can put all these little, oops, what is this stuff? Alright, let's, not you. I'll probably put all of those in there. I'm not going to put the spring in it. It's going to be a little bit of an issue getting that spring if it's lost. So actually, you know what? Yeah, why not? A little spray in there. Needle. This other butterfly. With those four screws. Yeah, I think that's good. This obviously, probably gonna suspend it something like that. I don't know. Okay. So I do this enough where I hang things from the edge of the ultrasonic cleaner that I try to like save the plastic. I'm gonna use my just my Canthol wire from my project that I did before. If you watch, it's the one with the smoke machine. It's an evac machine that I built. I'm gonna use that instead, and then I'll just hang that semi-permanently on the side of the ultrasonic cleaner. And then what I will do is, instead of having plastic like that, zip tie, I'm just gonna use that over and over again. Okay, so that's gonna work. Oh yeah, look what happened to my foam. Let's try to wash it. That didn't go too well. Just ripped right off. All right, looks like I'm gonna need a new piece of foam. Did you see that? Oh yeah, okay, you did. That's all ready to go. You can see it's at 44 degrees Celsius. And let's go ahead and suspend. So this thing off gases in the worst way. I recommend bringing your respirator. Make sure it's one that's like rated not just for particulates but also for chemicals, if you can. Whoa. Oh man, I'm a hot mess. Hold on. I'm almost there. I'm putting it on. So I just flipped this over, and I noticed that let's see if you can see it. Notice how wet it is back there? Oh, right here. Put too much glare. There you go. So that's an indicator to me that that gasket is shot back here. This thing is not sealing anymore. So we're definitely going to need that gasket. We'll try to salvage that somehow. I'm gonna clean this up with soap and water, and I do the same for this air filter here. And we'll be back in a couple days once we get the part. Let's put the car back together today. We have these. You might not be able to see them. Sorry. These parts are from the carburetor kit. And bring it forward a little bit more. Okay. So, and we have a Phillips screw that holds it all together. Okay, so the carb itself has these 4 pieces. This is the needle. This is the seat. So I put the 2 in like that. And be careful because this spring is easy to lose. Okay, so we have our needle here, and our needle sits right in this little, oops, be careful, like I said. It sits right on this, like that. Let's try this again. The seat itself, it has a little dimple on this side. And that dimple is what kind of pushes against the spring. This is like one of the more challenging little things to work on, but we'll get better at it. Maybe I can try not to lose this. Yeah. Okay, so it goes in there like that, but the spring has to go under. Spring goes under. Yeah, that's perfect. So that's lined up. Let me take this screw here. It's a Phillips. And that kind of just holds it all together. Kind of questioning whether or not this is the right screw. Okay, so that's good. Now we have that screwed down. That's good. Now there's a wash plug right here, and I'm not really committed to taking this out and put it back in. I feel like we're pretty safe. The condition of this carburetor didn't look too dire, so we'll stop. I have this all laid out so you can see a little better how this all works together. So we have a new primer bulb here. And that slides over that, like this. Okay. Now the carburetor has, on this side, has two parts. This is what's important. It has keys right here. These two dots, protruding pieces of metal, are important because they kind of help you line things up. Now it goes like this. This is the diaphragm right here. We're going to put this felt gasket down first, like this. Okay. And then we place the diaphragm, this part here, is going to go down, just like that. Okay. And then we have the primer bulb. Primer bulb sits on top, I'm sorry, the primer bulb sits on top of this, like that. And then this is keyed right here, so it will line up with this, just like that. Okay, now I take a little gander down the holes just to make sure that everything is lined up. We have these 4 screws, and these are Phillips. we're going to do a cross pattern when we install. Zoom down a little bit more for you. Alright, here we go. So we have going to a cross pattern. So here. And your torque spec is within reason. Don't do anything crazy. It's a small screw. And that's, we have a butterfly to install, and this butterfly, it's pretty, it just kind of slides in. So you want to line this up. It has a little groove here. There are numbers on it. So what I've noticed is numbers in general. If anything has a number printed on it, it's pretty. It's fairly universal. If it has a number on it, if it has a brand, if it's branded by the manufacturer, they want you to see it. And that's like it with anything, like whether you're setting up a tent or you are putting these things back. So that's one of the ways you can know for sure the orientation of things when you are confused. They always want you to see it. They never hide it from you. So just keep that in mind. If you can remember that rule, you'll be able to resolve a lot of like confusing things with the way things are put together. Okay, so here's a flathead screw that goes onto that. The number here is 132, by the way, if that matters to anyone. Let's see if I can get this in without losing it. Not emotionally, but I mean like physically losing it. I've already lost it emotionally. Okay, that feels pretty good. How far in that should go? I'm going to take this back out. I just want to see something here. Don't think it's seated properly. Yeah, I think it should sit flat like that. Okay, let's try it again. So I took it out because it wasn't seated flat like that. Because that has to close shut to like create a vacuum or shot. I'm sorry, this is the choke, so it's going to vaporize, create little smaller particulates, so increase the pressure in the Venturi, so the fuel air mixture when it's cold can burn a little easier, but ignite, because if it's a thicker mixture of fuel and air, it won't ignite easily. So that's why it's important for the choke to create that more pressure in the Venturi. All right, we have another butterfly over here. This one I'm a little confused about. This is the throttle, so it's spring-loaded here. So I don't know if I think see, it has some tension like that. So I think I need to screw it in with the tension like this. If it doesn't seem to operate correctly, then we know for sure I made a mistake. This has lines that also has a little hole. Gonna have to think about this. I don't know if that. It's hard to see, but look closely. You see the little gap right there, and there's a little cutout half moon. I'm not really sure what the orientation is for that. I need to like just look and research this for. I figured out this butterfly thing. The orientation is okay. So this goes up and down like that, right? Well, not up and down, just goes that way, right? And the gap here and here has to go on the outside so they don't get blocked. Because if you look at them, it looks like there's some kind of passage for something, right? And if this has it extrudes on this side, so it would be kind of weird to have something extrude. So we're gonna put that down inside here. Oh, remember this. Oh my God, I want to prepare for the challenge. There we go. That worked out a lot better than I thought. Come on. Stay. Stay. Screw here. Okay, what do you think? That's good? Let's take a look. See how the gap is over here? I don't know for sure. I haven't. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, so again, just make sure the holes are not following the spine. Here we go, we have some parts that we have set up here for you can see. There's a screw, you have like a little plastic gasket. This is neat, looks a little different from the original one, and we have the felt one. And I'm going to put the felt one down first. It's keyed right here, so you can see where to line these up. So the felt one goes in first. And then the plastic. goes on top like that. And then it's going to set on top of here, like this. This is the tricky part, getting this on here. Let's see how well this is going to happen. This idle screw here should go bump up against that. So. Oh, wrong side. Sorry. Right here. Ah! Oh God. So that goes like that. See, bumps up against it. So I'm going to take this screw. A moment of doubt when you're like, is this properly lined up? Yeah, it is. Okay, it's properly lined up. Don't think I have the right screwdriver for this. I use something larger. What are the chances that's not the right screw? It feels like it should go in. Right, let me double check this. Yeah, that's the right screw. So I think it's bumping up against the felt here. Can you see it? It's creating a bit of a problem for me. I feel certain that this is the right orientation. No, I'm not right. That's the right orientation. See how that's lined up? Okay. Change of plans, people. Pay attention. I just messed up. Okay, this... Hopefully I didn't damage this too much. This should go into this like that. Okay. Now, as long as we hold it, it should slide right onto this. Okay, that's better. Place that in position. Wow. That's a big difference. As I stab myself. Okay, so that's a good sound. It means air is passing and there's some suction. Let me see. Where is the suction? Yep, okay. So, primer bulb, I push on it, air flows through that. So air wants to escape that way. So I think, I wonder if, maybe that's the return, I'm not sure. Anyway, I have a visual, I'm good. So we have the carburetor is complete. We're done. Now let's put the rest. This muffler gasket is a little brittle. We have to take it off. My replacement is, it doesn't look exactly the same, but don't worry, it will work. You like the way I said that? It's with confidence. So let's see what we can do here. Yeah, there you go. I'm not really sure how easily this is going to come off without leaving too much of a mess for us to clean up. Yeah, we're gonna. Like I said, you know me, I don't really like this razor blade solution. Let us just maybe let's say spray it a little bit. Spray it and soak it. What do you think? Came up pretty nicely at other locations. I hate the razor blade. I think I'm going to do the wire wheel on this. Yeah, I think that's the best way to go. Yeah, do a little wire wheel and do the bronze wire wheel and clean it up with that. And then we're going to have to do maybe this one. This gasket looks a little bit easier to get off, but that one's also failing. Okay, so I got the wire wheel here. I'm going to just try to clean that up a little. Alright, don't look at me, people. It's dangerous. So what we got? So I'm going to go really slow on the RPM because I don't want to scratch the aluminum. Put up a little bit of a fight, no worries. that's not really coming off too easily. I'm going to spray it with a little bit of adhesive remover. Let it sit for about 2 minutes or so. And then I'll come back to it. It's just been sitting for a little bit with the adhesive remover, so we see what happens. I'll let that sit some more. It's doing pretty well. It's actually lifting it off. Sand this with a little 220. See if I can get small little pieces of right there in there. It's a little difficult. Okay, we're going to put the gasket on the muffler, and this is part number HOM 987865. It's a muffler gasket. And that's what we are going to do. Oops, did not work well. 1 second, back you off. Alright, so this has a couple bolts. There's these 2 bolts here. And the muffler itself. Now this gasket doesn't look exactly the same as the original one. The original one doesn't have that extra hole there. It's totally fine. They produced this over and over again because this short block engine is just, they just reused it over and over again. Before I do that, you know what? I made a bit of. I need to clean this out because I actually made a bit of a mess with all that sanding. And you don't want that in the cylinder block because it's going to create a. It's going to accelerate the decay of the cylinder itself, cylinder wall, with any sort of particulates floating around. So let's clean that out. We're going to do it with a little compressed air. Don't forget your glasses. Okay, so that's important to do because again, you saw I sanded it, and a lot of you don't want any particulates in that cylinder chamber. It'll accelerate the decay of the actual cylinder itself. All right, back to where we were. All right. So the muffler itself. What do you think? You think we should save that and just yeah, let's go tackle this first. Actually, change of plans. Let's try to take this gasket off, and so it's already coming off. I want to show you something before I had pulled it off, but it doesn't seem to stick out that much right now. I was going to show you where it failed, so you can see why it was leaking so much, but never mind. Let's just get this off of here. See what kind of shenanigans are in store for us. Should get underneath it. Hopefully it'll come off with not too many. Oh, spoke too soon. There's a lot of stuff not going with it. Here we go. Okay. Now this, I wish I was more of a material engineer, because I can tell you, right, that I recognize this type of aluminum. It's a little different from the other type of aluminum that's a little harder. Like this aluminum here is considerably more. Actually, I know this is a composite of aluminum and something else versus this type of aluminum. This aluminum is way more brittle, and it doesn't do well with like razors next to it. But I do know it doesn't hold gaskets too well either. So let us spray it and then let it sit for a little. We'll come back and give it a good don't forget your glasses. We're gonna clean this up a little. Let that soak some more and then come back, and I think I should be able to get it all off. Looks good, right? Yeah, I think we did a good job. Let's go back over to this side. Okay, so we have a gasket for the muffler. Now the muffler's interesting, because there's these little like loose things here. I thought about maybe like pulling this up and out, because I'm concerned about this thing catching on fire, because the ultrasonic cleaner had a, it's been sitting in a, a highly flammable liquid, carburetor cleaner. And mufflers get pretty hot. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna risk my life. I live on the edge a little. I'm gonna clean this off the best I can. I really wanted to, like I said, take it out, clean it out, because there are a lot of leftover carbon deposits in there, mixed with the ultrasonic cleaner's stash of it's been soaking in the carburetor cleaner. So okay, so we gotta get these holes lined up. I wonder if that matters, what side that's on. Yeah, it can only be on one side. Okay, that's good. So it's these bolts here. Slide them in, make sure they come through here, because they have to go through that the holes that float in. Oops, that was real stupid. Okay, so that's that. Okay. Alright, so the gasket here goes like this. Oh, that's engine assembly lube. I don't want that. Oh, what am I having, a senior moment? Line that up. Go back. Maybe I should just put this through like that. Why did I do that? Just slide that through like this. Okay. All right. Oof. Alright, this is 5/16, just so you know. 5/16 on that. Let's place the engine back. You notice right here that this has a beautiful little flexible shaft that slides into here. You can really see it right here really well, so I wanted to just point it out to you. Okay, spark plug chamber goes up top. Let's slide that into the flexible shaft area. Okay. So if that makes sense. Spark plug boop, does that make sense? So happy? No. That makes it happier. So it goes like that. And then on the front side, we have T25s, four T25s. It'll look like this. Okay. And I'll probably leave you in the back here for a little bit. One's going to go right here, so let's just try to start that off. I think that's the right one. I have several. Let me just make sure the thread pitch matches. Yeah, so use a bolt. Yeah, the thread pitch is the same. It feels kind of tight. I'm like a little weary. There's another one right here. The one's going on way easier. So I'm going to be a little mindful with this top one here. There's another one right here. And there's another one right here. Like I said, I noticed some of them screw a little easier than others, so it makes me wonder if there's some difference in these. That one's a little easier. Let me bring it around so you share my channel. This might get in your way. I'll do my best. So we have that here, and this here, and there's another one down here. And they feel, some of them feel a little easier than others. I'm not sure if it's just my hands. I think it's just my hands not being able to really tighten it. This one feels the weirdest to me, screwing that one back in. So. if anything fails or stripped out, it's going to be that one. Even though I lined it up pretty well, sometimes you just don't know. Okay, so those are in place. Alright, we want to get the... We have a gasket, a new gasket needs to go on. The gasket that we're going to put on, this is the part number for it. 900-994-004. So Ryobi carburetor B1-91. The gasket, we'll put that on first. I don't think we need any gasket sealant in between this. And the carburetor chokes on that side, throttles on that side, so throttle cable comes through here in the middle. Remember that conversation we had? Through the middle. Sorry. Through the middle all the way around like that. Make sure it's all the way around like that. So you go pulling on it and break it off like I did. You're going to need an entire new cable. Alright. Yeah, like that. That's in place. We want to get a... Oh, I see. My little issues with some entanglement. So let's take that off. This throttle linkage off first. Again, be careful with this thing because it's super brittle. It will just break right off on you. Maybe I can leave it on. Let me think about this. Okay. I need to get this wire here, like that. Sorry, it's upside down. Like this. This kill needs to be on top of it. Kill wire. Okay, that's what it is. Okay. I do need to get this back off. You fight me so much. Don't fight. Please come out. Please, please, please. Alright. You can do this. Come on. Easy to get off, hard to get on. Or the other way around. Ah, there you go. Boy, that was difficult. Look at this wire here is I'm having a hard time with it. It needs to... I'm going to bring it around on this side. Okay. Enjoy the shot a little bit better. Or enjoy the struggle a little bit. Let's see what I'm dealing with. Okay, so... this wire has to go under like that so the kill can stay on top of it when I sit it like that. Okay. So I need to make sure I slide this under like this. Because that's going to get screwed into that. This goes in the middle. Wrong side. Okay. Like that. Have patience. All things work out in time. So we have the fuel lines and the return over there. Okay, kill switch here. It's going to like that. I'm having a hard time here, am I not? Okay. Like that. Alright, we have 2 bolts that go on top and hold this down. They are 3/8. Yeah, they are 3/8. We have 2 3/8. See that? Okay. I think we should hand tighten this first. Not too tight because I'm not sure what kind of challenges I'm going to encounter trying to screw this other parts down, so I'll leave it kind of loose for now. Why does that feel so problematic? Alright, so we're gonna pay attention to this. Heed some caution, it's a little tight. Not sure why. Alright, I forgot to screw the throttle cable linkage onto the body. So I had to take the 225 bolt out, and I'm gonna reattach it now. It has like little imprints from the actual placement where it was located before, so that helps gives me an idea like how much to where to line it up, which is good. This is the one that I thought was kind of weird feeling. Oops. You can still see. Okay. That's that. Okay. And so these 3/8 welds. Remember, this one's a little weird. I'm gonna just do a little bit of like spray lubricant on it just to see if that helps it go down a little easier. It's kind of a little sticky on the way down, so I'm not sure what it needs. Do all the typical things where you start off hand tightening it. And nothing too crazy. Alright, let's clean that out. We want to get the air filter and place the air filter in here now. And then cap it off. So the air filter is going to be this part. Stands 100-859. And it should sit right in here. Okay. Now we need to get a cover on top of that. Okay, so this. Okay, so it clips into there and clips into there. There's no screws there, okay. And this is, it seems like it doesn't really matter what's, is it? Yeah, the sides are agnostic. It doesn't matter. We're gonna, yes, at least so I think. Famous last words. Oh man, I'm in for it. Yeah, they do matter. So, never mind. Okay, so you got it? Alright, that's the air filter, that's in. Now we gotta put the back. So kind of messed this up a little bit. This choke needs to, I mean this is part of the throttle, so not the choke. This needs to pull down, right? So right now it already has tension, bumping up against that. It's not right. It needs to, this needs to be on that side. So let us pull this apart and try to do this properly. Alright. I should do it all the way, yeah. Tension itself, the spring-loaded tension. It's not on the right side. It needs to... When you pull the throttle cable, right? When you relax, it should... The throttle cable wants to pull this down. But... So this... This butterfly's not in the right spot, position here. So I think, right, I have to take that off. And yeah, let me think about this with you here. This doesn't feel right. Okay, so I need this. When it recoils, because it pulls, okay, it's already down. It needs to be, how do I do this? Think about this. You see it's already arrested. It needs to be pulled back that way. It needs to have tension on this side. Like that. I'm a little confused. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice. I'm going to need a little bit of time to think about this. This wants to be, it wants to have, right now, right, it wants to just kind of like go back this way. When the throttle cable is pulled, right, it wants to pull down like this. That means I need to take that off and turn this back this, I'm sorry. It wants to relax. Okay, it wants to pull back that way, so I need to wind it this way. Yeah? Got it? So. Pull this off. almost tell you that I anticipated that this was not right. Whatever. So this needs to be wound up. That. So it wants to go this way. Yeah, there you go. See? It's because it wants to retract that way. You want it to retract that way. You want it to be on that side. So with it like this, now you take this. Is this really a circle? Okay, well, this looks good. So let's screw back in the butterfly here. I feel like you need to zoom down a little to see what I'm doing. I'm so sorry about the bad footage, but you saw me do this already, so I'm just showing you my mess up here. There we go. So that wants to do that. That's what it needs to do. Like that. Because the throttle cable goes onto here, pulls down, and it opens up the venturi, the airflow for the venturi. Okay, so let's put this back on now. It's good to give it a check before you close it up. That's what should happen. So it recoils that way. You pull. Alright. And that's how that works. Hopefully you saw. Anyway, great.